Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to introduce this show now. I'm going to read my intro because I had to write it. Because for me, like the rest of us in Nigeria, this has been a very heavy week since the death of Peju Uboma went public. So here goes. This episode is dedicated to the Peju Ubomas, Princess Warigon, who is my neighbor's wife who died of a similar operation a couple of years ago, and all the hundreds of Nigerian women who have lost their lives while trying to rid their body of the non cancerous yet life debilitating lump called uterine fibroids. To our dead, I say you are not forgotten. Your death will not be in vain. The memories of you continue to strengthen us to seek for answers and solutions to ensure none of us go through the same thing. To the families of the bereaved, names that I cannot count now, if I was to start naming all the names that have been sent, we literally would not be able to start this show. To the families of the bereaved, I say to you, we hear you, we see you. Your pain is our pain. Your loss is our loss. We will continue to keep you in our hearts and in our prayers. Thank you. Now I have we have a full studio today. I have, I think, 6 guests. I have best friends of Peju in the studio. They're going to be telling us about who Peju was, giving us a little bit of an insight into the operation because lots of information has gone out on social media. They will be able to tell us the actual facts. And we will stick within certain boundaries because of legal issues. Now, I also have with me Dr. Benjamin Olowo. Hold on, I've got to try and remember. Olowo Jabutu, a powerful name. Dr. Benjamin has done hundreds of myomectomy, and I will be asking him to talk us through the process and explain to us exactly what it is. In addition, I have Dr. Horode Doherty, who is a primary health care. She's actually a GP, the equivalent of a GP, who will be advising us on what questions we should ask. Because if there's one thing we know in Nigeria is that doctors are seemingly like gods. Some behave as if they are gods, and therefore they intimidate us from asking them questions. So Dr. Orode is going to educate us and enlighten us as to how we should pick the best, or a surgeon or a hospital, and what questions we should be asking for. I also have with me a lady who will be joining, I believe, Morayo, who is from FCCPC. That is the parastatal who, unknown to all of us, but thanks to Peju's story, is now educating us on the patient's rights bill. I bet you all didn't know that you had rights. Yes, Lagos, Nigeria, we have rights. As usual, you will be able to call in once I say the lines are open. Right, the female only line is 014 657 190. Female only line is 014 657 190. You all know the others, all right? Otherwise, I'll read it out again. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. conversation of our lives. Okay, who do we trust when we look at the medical landscape in Nigeria? How do we know who to trust, and where has the trust gone? Right, first of all, let me open with Adetutu, Fumi, and Adenike, who are best friends of Peju's for over 30 years. So you can imagine what they are going through having lost one of their friends. Girl code, girl Kang, it's never going to be the same again. Adetutu, I'll come to you first. Tell us about the Peju you knew and what happened according to what you know from your friend. I can spare 5 minutes on that.
Okay. So, sorry, I have difficulty
Please
referring to her in the
past tense.
So, but I'm going to try. So I met Peju in the University of Lagos, I think about 1997. And she was very bubbly, very full of life. She gave of herself. We quickly became friends, and till her passing, I think we will talk like twice, thrice a week.
Mm-hmm.
She was that go-to person. When she turned 40, I tried to look for simple words to describe her. I described her as fiercely loyal friend. That person that every girl needs to have in her corner for big things, for small things. So as little as anniversaries, birthdays, what to do, what to wear, those were the kind of things. And Peju was a night owl like me. So we would catch up, say like 11 o'clock. Where's everyone? And we will tease each other that they're far away in La La Land, and we will talk about everything and nothing. Some of our other friends referred to her as Voltron. So she was that person in your corner that wouldn't take it lightly if someone hurt your feelings, if someone upset you and things like that. So she was very upstanding, a Christian woman. She could relate with every generation, young, old. Diversity, I think, was very big for her. She had different types of people around her. And just to bring that home a bit is when my daughter turned a teenager and we had difficulties, communicating, Peju was the bridge. She was that. So I would call her to say, so what did you guys talk about? What's going on with her? And so you can imagine the kind of loss this is for my family.
Yes.
It's big. She was that very present person. So again, when I had my daughter, even before I woke up, she was the first person to hold her. That wasn't family.
Okay, so tell me, let's move forward to what you know happened to your friend.
Okay, so this is something that we both share and talk about a lot. So I have had a similar issue twice.
Are we talking about uterine fibroids?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And I've had to go into surgery twice.
Okay.
So it's something we talk about in common. Peju did a lot of research in this area. And I remember each time I had to have a surgery, she was very instrumental to the choices I made, the doctors that I spoke with. She would hound you with phone calls just to be sure you were asking the right questions. So it's our turf, kind of, familiar grounds.
Okay.
So when she was going to have the when she had the first surgery, I think about 12, 13 years ago.
So she had surgery 12, 13 years ago.
Yes.
And that surgery was what?
A myectomy.
The myectomy, which is the removal of the fibroid. Right,
yes.
okay. And then this time she had
hysterectomy.
Okay, okay.
So I remember going to see her in the hospital. It was quick, in and out, 3 days. It wasn't a big deal.
And it was in Nigeria?
It was in Nigeria.
Okay.
It was somewhere in Ikoyi. So,
okay.
And it was fine.
Okay.
And then she had a second one. I do not remember exactly where. But then we talked later and she was like, oh, she had to do it. So it was more like before each conception, she had to sort of sort that situation out. And then she started to have pains more recently, I think in the last 3 years. And a lot of, bleeding, and so it was getting uncomfortable, and the only solution was really the hysterectomy.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to come to you, Fumi.
Yes.
Tell us about the Kweju that you knew.
Okay, I'll start with, you referring to us as Kweju's best friends. Kweju has loads of best friends. She was special to everybody. And I think even after this happened, I think it was an eye-opener where everyone just wanted to be involved. Because everyone was Kweju's best friend. Kweju had the time and the love for everyone that, you just felt there was nobody else like you in her life. She was that person. And, Kweju was special to all our children because she gave every single child a nickname. I don't think Kweju ever called anyone by their name. So I remember she used to call me Yellow. And she would say, oh, Yellow. And I used to say to her, but you're lighter than I am. But, she'll keep going on. And when this happened, I said to my son, who calls you a blondie? Because, he's a big ginger. And he said, Auntie Kweju. She said, Mommy, she calls me Ginger Boy. Kweju had a baking lesson that my son was the only boy. And she encouraged him so much. And when the girls were on his case, she would be the Voltron. That's even to a little young boy. She would be the Voltron. She would encourage him. He loves cooking today because Kweju made him want to try it out. For me, it wasn't something I was interested in.
She inspired him to cook.
She inspired him to cook. She was available to everyone. And, from school, Kweju was, like to say, she was the Voltron. She was available. I'm into the travel business, but Kweju was the only friend that gives me a run for my money when it comes to travel. She was daring. Kweju would go to Iceland by herself on a holiday. She would go to France Kweju is in Paris just to try the restaurant out. She had a blog at some point where she was always going food critics in Nigerian restaurants. So if you want to go anywhere to eat, Kweju was your go-to person. She knew everywhere. She was passionate.
Excellent. Now, tell us what you know about what happened to your friend. So she had a myomectomy 13 years ago.
Yes.
And now she was getting pains in the last 3 years.
Yes.
And decides to go for a hysterectomy.
Yes.
But she had done her research.
Yes.
Right?
And yes, she's a very detailed person.
Right.
So, and that was the first shock I had because Kweju would have checked everywhere. She had her reservations about doing it. I remember a couple of years when she talks about she's done it twice. And I said, Kweju, why don't you just take it out again? She would say, for me, I've done it twice. I've done it twice. So what difference does this make? And I'm sure that's why she decided to do the hysterectomy instead of, bringing out the fibroid again. She just wanted to put an end
to it.
To it.
Yes.
And
Because she already had children, right?
yes, she already
How many
had two
children
girls.
did she have? Two girls.
She has a 9 and 11.
Okay.
And so she's very detailed. So she did all her research. She went to at least 3 hospitals,
Right.
to check, and before she decided where to do it.
Okay. And then she decided.
And then she decided,
Okay.
she was
Okay.
doing it here.
Thank you. Do we still have time before break? We have 2 minutes. Adenike, tell me about the Peju that you knew.
Okay. Unlike the other 2 ladies, Fumi and Tutu, I met Pedro about 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how it's sort of like a 360 degree thing, because the day I met Pedro, I just had surgery, and she came to visit me at the hospital. So I met her husband.
Was
first.
it a similar surgery?
It was something similar.
Okay.
So she had come to visit me. She had come to visit me at the hospital, and we just hit it off immediately.
Yeah.
She's good vibes. To know Pedro is to love her. She's just a very, as they've said, she's just a wonderful person. I had just had surgery and she was cracking me up. You know what I mean? I'm like, please stop. I have stitches. Don't make my stitches come out. So she's a lovely person. She's a sister friend. She's the kind of person that if she's in your corner, you know that she's a loyal person. She's a ride or die kind of person. And my 2 friends here have said it as well, that it's hard to speak about her in the past tense, because she's such a big fuss. She was in a lot of pain recently from this fibroids. She was in a lot of pain. She was anemic. It was affecting her quality of life.
Excellent. That's a good place to start. We'll come back right after the break and you can take over from
sure.
there. Thank you.
Downfall Conversations will be right back.
Deeply satisfying taste of the Chi Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
Chi Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
My people, how far now? See, if any kind person say you want the coded password for your bank app, I be your PIN, I be your card PIN, I be the TD number wait there for the back of your card, your pay ID, I be the answer for your security question. I beg not give them all. All this information, them supposed they coded. You're not supposed to share them with anybody. Make you wise up. No make them scam you. This message now from Kuda Microfinance Bank, the bank of the free. Make you download Kuda for Play Store or for App Store to open account. Make you start to enjoy our wolf banking.
There's a saying, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Permit me to introduce a friend that's not so regular. Brain Friend. It's the best e-learning solution with over 70,000 practice questions and answers, over 60 subjects in primary and secondary schools, easy-to-use Study Now usage and performance tracking, videos and animated lessons, plus many more. For more information, visit app.brainfriendonline.com or call 0817-860-3454 or 0703-058-6385. Brain Friend. Learn better, make excellent grades.
Only one station gives you great talk every day. show yesterday, you spoke about the tariff hike, electricity tariff hike.
Yes.
I'm hearing news today that it's being postponed till next year.
City of Lagos, did I say it yesterday? I am a prophet.
Hear the news and tell us your views.
Congratulations once again to Liverpool. Despite the disastrous outing they had tonight.
Your number one station for talk.
You know, the WHO gave a guideline for organizations,
right?
Yes, to implement, reduce the spread of coronavirus in your group, in your companies. Here in N Group, we've done
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Welcome back to Downfall Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
And welcome back. Adenike, before we went on break, you were telling me about how Peju had been in a lot of pain.
Yes.
Please continue.
Yes, so this pain had affected her quality of life, where there were times when she couldn't even get out of bed or even come downstairs or do stuff with the kids or go to work. And, you know, we had several conversations where I didn't think it was a big deal because I'd had something similar happen. So when we spoke about it, it was more of, yeah, you need to do it. And, you know, just, I mean, you've had 2 kids, you're not planning to have any more children. So it makes sense to, instead of having another myomectomy, just have a hysterectomy. And she was speaking to medical professionals. She had gone for tests and, you know, there wasn't anything, we weren't concerned or worried. It was just, oh, she's going in for surgery. And, you know, then she decided on what hospital she wanted to use. She had gone for tests, like the pre-surgery tests and whatnot. And then, you know, she went in for the surgery. And yeah.
So, where were you when you heard that she had passed?
I was home in bed. And someone called me because she assumed I'd heard. And I remember screaming because I don't know, I think I was like, I think I even started screaming at her like, are you joking? What kind of stupid joke is this? And then unfortunately I had to call her husband because I asked a stupid question because I still thought, I said, where is Kweju? Because obviously it can't be that she's dead, right? And he said, Nika, it's true, she's gone. And yeah, I don't think I've cried so much.
Imagine.
In a while.
I can imagine. For me, how are the kids and Ijoma, IJ, her husband, doing? And where were you when you heard she passed?
I had a friend's birthday and I looked forward to so much lunch and, you know, I think I was about to eat and it was a room filled with, you know, guests, and another friend called and she said, Rachel is gone. And my first question was to where? Because when she did the surgery on Friday, I'd called on Saturday and her phone rang out and her husband's phone rang. So I thought, okay, she's sleeping. So let me give her a bit of time. So I'd planned, we'll see her on Sunday. I called Sunday morning, her phone rang out still. So I thought, okay, knowing Peju, she's been a diva, she just wants to rest. We'll see her later. And I think for me, it was when her husband had to tell the children. It was the most horrible thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And a younger daughter, you know, I'd gone to a friend's house that morning where the girls were. And when they saw me, they said, Auntie, for me, how come you're here? You know, it's a working day. And I said, oh, I just came to see, you know, Auntie. So I went upstairs. But our older daughter, I think she could feel there was something wrong. So she went into the bathroom and locked herself there.
Mm-hmm.
So when her dad came, it was 10 minutes. We're waiting for her to come out of the bathroom. And her younger sister said, Mommy's friends are here. And she mentioned everybody's names. And she said, Daddy's also here. And we said, why did you have to tell her we're all here? And we said, okay, so come out, we're waiting. But she took her time. And when he said it, I think she said it first. She said, oh, so where's Mommy? You know. And it was a tough one for IG. So he said that's why we're here. we're here to tell you about mommy. And he said, oh, mommy has gone to Jesus. And our younger daughter said, you're joking, right? You guys are just, it's a prank, right? And, we held her. So she, I gave her a tight hug. So I think she knew this is real. And she screamed and she said, how did stomach ache become going to see Jesus?
What's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Added to, where were you? So your friend goes into hospital. She's gone in for a hysterectomy. She's done all the research. She's prepared to go in. And then you get a call?
So early that week, so I think this surgery was a Friday.
Yeah.
So early in the week, I had been trying to reach her. And I mean, it was for some random silly thing that I needed her to just help with, and she wasn't picking up. So I tried again the next day, and then I think eventually occurred to me that, since she had mentioned, that she was going to have the surgery, that maybe it was time. So I called her husband, who then told me that, surgery is done, and that she's woken up, she's fine, and he's going home and to take a bath and come back to the hospital. And so I was like, okay, I'll catch up with you tomorrow, and so on Saturday I called a few times and I was like, okay, maybe they're busy. And then Sunday, I started to call, then I sent a text, and then I got the call. Fumi called me and said she couldn't even say it. She said she was sleeping.
Thank you so much. I have to come to you, Dr. Benjamin. You have a lot of experience. I think you've done some 1,800 operation surgeries. Tell us, when a woman comes in to either do a myomectomy or a hysterectomy, what happens? What happens?
Okay, so I was just I'll say my condolences to the friends of the disease, because the stories are very touching. I'm a very emotional person myself, so just try to be very, very calm now. So first things first, we need to understand what fibroids are. So we understand that even in the midst of the pain, we are also educated. So people know that Nika mentioned something about quality of life. Because most times you need to balance quality of life to the present condition you have. What are the symptoms of fibroids? Heavy bleeding, menorrhagia, used to bleed.
What's menorrhagia? You have to speak to us in English, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry. It used to bleed for like 3 days before, and suddenly it increased to 5-7 days.
Right.
With clots of blood coming out on your period. You used to wear a size 12 shirt, and suddenly you start wearing a size 16 shirt, and your tummy just getting big. It's not food. Sometimes the mass growing in you, So those symptoms generally affect the quality of life. So imagine you standing on the podium wearing a white dress, speaking to a conference that loads of international people, and suddenly something just pops out of you on the stage because your message just about to start and you didn't prepare for it. You didn't wear a patch liner, you didn't wear a pod, and you're all stained. That one will give you a lot of depression because you're facing crowd and people not understanding what you have. Because I've seen it happen to some of my patients before. So we need to understand how devastating it can be when you're not able to do what you usually do before as a woman. You're not able to live your life to the fullest. You can't even make love to your husband because of pain. Those things are very, very all together. So fibroids can cause those things. Your pain increases during menstrual flow. There's a lot of increase in pain. There's a lot of menorrhagia, meaning heavy bleeding, with clots of blood. So you used to use a pad, 2 pads daily for your menstrual flow. is turned to 7, 10 parts. Somewhere, some now use adult Pampers now.
Wow.
Because they can't use pad because the pad can't hold them again.
Wow.
So imagine your PCV naturally should be above 35, 36, and you're living your life around 25, 26, 27, which means the blood level that your heart needs to pump to your body is reduced. So your heart is overworking to send blood to the part of your body. So you have people what we call severe anemia. Now, anemia is reduced blood level. When that happens because of loss of blood, that means the fibroid is symptomatic. So some have fibroids that are not symptomatic. It's just there, no symptoms, no pain. It's just a mass there. It's not affecting the fertility. In Africa, one of the major causes of infertility is fibroids. Yes. I don't know why it's more in Africa. We don't know the reason, but it's an African challenge.
During my research, one of the things that came about is that fibroids affect black women 3 times more than it affects white women, and with more problems.
So black people, black Americans, black Africans, black Hispanics, just black people.
Black people.
We don't know. So nobody has done any research to see if we have any genomic any gene that is black
to this.
Yes, we don't know yet.
These were part of the questions I was going to ask you. I'm glad you mentioned that.
So nobody has come up with that. Another thing is that nobody has come up with the causes, the real cause of fibroids.
Yes, what
we
causes
we have what we call predisposing factors. So there are no. So we can say like you have malaria. The cause of malaria is Plasmodium falciparum, or Plasmodium malariae, or Plasmodium ovale. But we don't say this is the particular cause for uterine fibroids. But that's what we call predisposing factor, which means things that women have that can cause. Let me give you one scenario that I've seen over the experience, but it's not even written in the books. So imagine if you started menstruating at 11 years old and you're 40 and there's no break in the flow. That means you've menstruated for 29 years without a break. But when you're pregnant, 1 full year, no menstrual flow. Another full year, you breastfeed the kid. So 2 years, no menstrual flow. The stimulation of the fibroids to grow in your womb is reduced when there's a break in the menstrual flow.
Right.
Yes. This is by what I've seen by experience.
So it's less likely to grow when we are not menstruating.
Correct.
Right.
So look at our mothers, our parents. They had their kids early, and they have multiple children. So look at my mother had 5 kids. So 5 times 2, that's 10 years. So 10 years of her life, she didn't menstruate. So the ability for the hormones to stimulate the fibroids to grow is what is reduced.
Right.
So people that marry early, so you start menstruating at 11, you get married at 18. That's just 7 years of menstrual flow. But imagine somebody that is 11 and is just 40, no pregnancy, that's 29 years. And the womb cannot be followed. Something must grow in the womb, either a baby or a fiber. That's how it's structured.
Right.
So the predisposing factor is one of those things.
Right.
Then 2, if it's your family, there's a family history.
Yes.
So your family has your grandmother, your grandmother had fibroid before. There's a possibility that you're going to get you're going to have fibroids yourself too. Then if you're obese, if you're a little obese, because obesity causes overweight, because the hormones are also very fat soluble, so they help you also stimulate the growth of the fibroids to grow. One of the things I've realized that people are afraid to seek or ask the right question because in their mind they don't want to hear those news that they don't, because they're afraid of surgery. So I call it 2 F's that affects women with fibroids: fear and fund.
Fear and fund, being money, finance. Fear and finance.
Yes.
Okay. Have we still got time? Are we going on break? Okay, continue.
So
let's talk about the fear factor first.
Fear that somebody tells you, somebody comes and tells you, if you take these herbal medicines, it will shrink the fibroid, it's less expensive, you will do well. And because people are afraid, their psychology is being toyed with. So people can use and manipulate you to believe what will not work. And that belief affects the functionality of the person. So fund is that the surgery is actually expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive. So, you imagine the surgery itself. So people are afraid that they can't pay for the surgery. They don't go for the less stuff. Whereas, the more you take these herbal medicines, the more you feed on the fibroids.
So just say that again slowly. The more
you take
the herbal medicines are taken, the
more
stronger the fibroids are.
Yes. And you feed on it.
Okay, hold on right there. We'll come back after the break. I want you to really tell us what happens there.
Okay.
What they would get from performing oversight functions that actually making law and insisting that these laws will be obeyed.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Yes, good day. It's exciting to sit in here today with the excellent team. Allow me to say that from Peeps Global. From the team I've got here, I've got Mr. Dan Akor. I've also got Vivian. Yep. And let's begin from the very beginning. What's Peeps Global Trading Company all about?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, my people. Peeps Global Trading Company is an educational platform that helps and equips people with the right skill set to navigate the world's largest money market. And when we talk about the world's largest money market, allow me to say that the world's largest money market is Forex. Forex does a whopping of $6.3 trillion every single day. So I am so passionate talking about Forex every day because it is not something that has changed my life alone. It is something that has changed the lives of many people around me. And that is what Peeps Global Trading Company is all about.
How can people use the company tools?
Yeah, it's awesome to say that it's very simple, very exciting to use the company's tools. Number one, the tools is where we're simplified for everyone, even newbie in the market, to be able to use. And one of the most amazing tools we have is the copy and paste platform. The copy and paste platform allows students that as you are learning, you are earning. And when we talk about learning and earning, we are talking about as a student, you get daily trade signals for free. And all you need to do is to copy it and paste it. As the gurus, as the people, the educators make money, you also make money alongside, you see. So it is exciting. And we also have the Accordan triangle strategy. We also have the Accordan classic. We have the ebooks whereby you could be able to study from the comfort of your office, from the comfort of your business place, from the comfort of your house, you see, so that everyone can be able to profit and benefit from this global market. So the company's tools is actually awesome and is very, very well simplified for everyone to use.
All right, now let's talk about the category of people that can do this business. Who and who can get involved?
The first thing is, if one person can do it, everyone can do it. If I can do it, if I can become a master trader, then everyone can become a master trader. You know why? Because I never knew anything about the Forex market, until the day that I went for a mentorship section, which I'm going to talk about right now, which I expect every one of you to be there tomorrow. And the mentorship section allows you to get into Forex so easy. Why? We show you the possibilities of this market. For how can you be at this mentorship section? All you need to do is to SMS the word mentorship to the number 0812 471 7275. I call that number again, 0812 471 7275. So everyone can do the business. When you come tomorrow, you're definitely going to see different categories of people. You will see businessmen, you will see people, baristas, doctors, name it. You see, everyone can actually do Forex. You know why? Because right now you can navigate the world's largest money market, which is Forex, from the comfort of your house, from the comfort of your office, especially using the platform Peeps Global Trading Company, helping you, guiding you to be able to profit daily from this market.
You're meant to have a one-on-one presentation. When would that be?
Tomorrow, 10 a.m., you need to be there.
At 64 Ikorodu Road, Fadeyi Bus Stop.
If you are not there, you are going to miss out. You know the reason why? It takes an encounter for someone's financial life to change. I remember the day that I heard this on radio and I went for the meeting. And I tell you the truth that I wasn't expecting as much as I got that day. But when I saw the possibility that even a newbie, even someone who have not seen the Forex chart before can do the business, I have to dive dive into it, and I tell you, it has been the best decision I have made all my life. That's why you need to quickly SMS mentorship so that the full details of how you can be at this event will be sent to your line. But all you need to remember is SMS mentorship to this number. The number is 0812 471 7275. I call that number again, 0812 471 7275. If you SMS this mentorship right away, someone is going to get back to you immediately. But 10 a.m. tomorrow, I want to see you. And when you are coming, please kindly come with your nose marks. Exactly.
Now let's talk about your experience as a forex trader.
Would you feel if you get to learn a skill set that didn't just set you free, but also set the members of your
I thought, what could give me that, even as being a consultant, and that didn't happen for me until I got to know my mentor here, Dana Cole, who took me by the hand and showed me the way through forex market, the world's largest financial market. You know, forex is the thing that can give you the freedom because you trade from anywhere and everywhere. You can trade on the beach, on the Bahamas, Miami. You make the same amount of money you make from anywhere in Nigeria, anywhere you are in the whole world. And because the market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days in a week, you can trade at any time. You can decide to do your other businesses, other job you're doing based on your passion. You can decide to do that in the daytime and wake up at night and trade. You know, before others wake up, you've already closed in your Peeps Global is not an investment platform. It is an educational, purely an educational platform. And you are the information you know. And once you get this knowledge, it goes with you all through your life as far as you'll be able to hold and make use of your smartphone. So because once you get this knowledge, you'll be able to even pass it on to your generation and your family members. So that's why Peeps Global is a place for you to be, a place for you to come and learn how to trade Forex. You become a professional Forex trader. And that is why you have to be at this mentorship section tomorrow. I want to see you tomorrow because I will be there as well to do my own bit, taking you by the hand and showing you the exact same way it worked for me. So for you to be there, you have to text mentorship to the number 081 247 17275. I'll take that again. You have to text the word mentorship to the number 081 247 17275. Guys, I've gone through school. I've done my master's abroad. Everything, all the time and the money I spent cannot be compared to the information and the value I have gotten within this short period I've been at Peeps Global to learn Forex market. See you there tomorrow.
So guys, you've heard it all. Be at this event tomorrow. Mentorship, and the mentorship goes to this number 0812 471 7275. See you there. Thank you very much.
Information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi there. If anyone ever asked you for your banking app password or PIN, your card PIN or the 3 numbers on the back of your card, your pay ID or answers to your security questions, do not give it to them. These details are private and highly confidential. They must never be shared. Stay smart. Don't lose your money to scammers. This message is from Kuda Microfinance Bank, the bank of the free. Download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store and open an account to enjoy free banking.
I feel alive, so alive when I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my G exotic.
Indulge and get lost in the deeply satisfying taste of the Chi Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
Chi Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
Brain friend, brain friend, brain friend. A friend to your
There's a saying, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Permit me to introduce a friend that's not so regular. Brain Friend. It's the best e-learning solution with over 70,000 practice questions and answers, over 60 subjects in primary and secondary schools, easy to use study now usage and performance tracking, videos and animated lessons, plus many more. For more information, visit app.brainfriendonline.com or call 0817-860-3454 or 0703 058 6385. Brain Friend. Learn better, make excellent grades.
brain friend, brain friend, brain friend. Make excellent grades. I got my brain friend. Excellent grades. Got your brain friend.
For me.
Conversations right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Downfall Conversations. With Ireti Bakare.
And welcome back. I believe we're all feeling a little bit lighter now in the studio, thanks to that long advert. Right, Doctor, you were telling us, I'm going to give you 2 minutes because we're running out of time. As I say to all of you, 1.5 hours always seems like it's long. It's truly not that long because I still want to get to Dr. Orode and I want to get to the FCCPC. So just before we went on break, you said those herbal medicines that people are fond of taking because of fear, they tend to feed the fibroids to grow.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Give it 2 minutes.
So look at it. It's a child in the tummy. Just think about a baby in the tummy. When you're pregnant, when you eat food, Does the baby grow smaller or grow bigger?
Bigger.
Bigger. So that's it. So the arteries that supplies the uterus, they're very big. They're very large arteries. They're just very, really large. The uterine arteries. So if you eat food and take medicines, they go straight into those arteries and feed on the fibroid. So they get it bigger. They get it more calcified. So the pain increases, the size increases, they're bigger. But people don't know that part. So when they go to meet these guys that sell it for them, because of the psychological stuff, and they've put fear in them, they've been able to get some kind of fibroid somewhere to mimic what is coming out of them. So they lie to them. You know, I've seen patients that have taken herbal medicines made from the dung of a cow. You know, she went to buy it in Cotonou and drank it for 9 good years before we had to do the surgery for her like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Because of the fear and the fun. And also fear is very, very important. And what we're telling the public is that you can get help. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
Don't be afraid.
That's a good place to end there for a moment. Thank you so much, Doctor. Dr. Orade, are you there? Dr. Orade,
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Unfortunately, we're about to go on a 2:00 news headline break. But when we come back, I want you to tell us about the kind of questions that we should ask when we want to pick.
99.3 Nigeria.
This is an
Ireti Bakare-Yusuf every Friday
1 to 2:30 p.m.
on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM, your number one station for talk. Now let's talk. Dr. Orade, sorry about that. Are you there? Are you there, Dr. Orade? Can you hear me? Dr. Orade?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. So we're back. Now, tell us within 2 to 3 minutes, because the lines are already going live. What are the kind of questions? Because you're a GP, and one of the things that you've said to me is, Ireti, when you want to pick a surgeon to do anything, you should speak to your GP first. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. So, I'd like to start by sending my condolences to the family and the friends of Beju. This is most unfortunate events. And my prayer is that God will strengthen you all. Ireti, thank you for the opportunity. It's important to have an established primary healthcare provider who will guide you through healthcare decision making just in general, without their judgment being clouded, either because they're your relative or because the decision could affect them financially. So that's a very important thing, and that's a gap for us. Very many of us as in Nigeria, we do not have the practice of establishing primary healthcare providers or GPs or family practitioners. Depending on where you trained, there's a terminology that eventually they all mean the same thing. And so when you start to think about, and I heard when the good doctor was talking about quality of life issues, and these are real things for women. And so when we say what's the indication for surgery, if you're tired, you're cranky, you're unable to perform, optimally in terms of work on the home front, you have pain, heavy bleeding, certainly, or you want more babies, or you want a baby. Those are certainly indications for surgery. So the woman's indications, but also then the things that are important to the physician. So Dr. Ngozi Onuoha and I compiled this living document in 2018. I can't believe it was that long ago, but it was probably around the time when we were ourselves besieged with a lot of people wanting to know, and we said, look, this is information, go look at it. What's the indication for surgery, and has every other option been explored? That's a non-surgical treatment option. And then ask yourself, how do I best prepare? How many, I'm looking for a surgeon, how many, who are the surgeons who provide this? Is there a way of ranking them? How many of such surgeries have these surgeons whom you're looking at? How many have they done before? Then you start to ask the individual surgeon, how long would the surgery typically last? Who else would assist you? What type of anesthesia will be used? Who will provide the anesthesia? Where will you provide the surgery or perform the surgery? I assume we're talking about an accredited healthcare facility, one that's approved. Do they have running water, electricity, backup of a backup? We have to have these things in Nigeria. What kinds of complications are usual for this type of operation? And is this surgeon versed in those complications? So which of the complications has he or she dealt with before? Would I need to receive a blood transfusion before, during, or even after the surgery? How much? Do you have enough blood for my blood group? What's my blood group? Do I know it? Do you know it? Have you cross-matched? Do you have enough? What if there's a need for more blood? Now, we've been involved in a few cases as younger doctors before we went into our specialties, where we were present and there was a need for more blood, and we're literally mobilizing the entire hospital. So what's the plan B for more blood? How would you manage the complications should they occur? Would I need to be moved to another level of healthcare facility? And then, has your surgeon managed these complications before? Could they manage the worst case scenario complications? I know that in Nigeria, we're very, we're very, oh no, it's the doctor didn't tell me. Well, I say to my women and my mothers, ask, and I'm happy to make that call on your behalf and ask, and we have a 3-way call. Certainly when he knows my name and he knows I'm your GP, he will be open to, or she will be open to saying, oh yeah, let's have a conversation, prepare your patient for surgery, and then, how long will the hospital stay be? What's the cost of surgery, post-op care? What I find is that most people know the cost of the operation, but they don't know any of the answers to all of the questions I've talked about before. And then, of course, follow up. When will I be able to return to my usual activities? Do I drive? If I walk to work? If I ride, cycle, whatever it is, when can I get back to that? When do I come for follow-up care? What are wound care instructions if there are any wounds? Who removes the stitches? When do they get removed? Can my GP do that? What else needs to happen? What are the long-term side effects? I like to emphasize conversation and relationship with your GP, your family care doctor, your primary health care practitioner, because those are the ones whom you trust. And because you trust them, you trust that they will have open conversation with you. And then, ultimately, the decision is really about you and whether this will be good for you as an individual. Will it allow you to, optimally function, here on out?
Thank you.
And then, what are the risks?
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Quickly, can you read us the link? How do we get to that link of all the questions that you've collated together? You mentioned it earlier. How do we get to that
Yes.
site?
Yes. It's healthforniger.com. I'm actually going to also put it up on my own website, which is ingresshealthpartners.com. But it's healthforniger.
Is that number 4 or
number
FOR?
4. Yes, number 4.
Health
and then
for
Niger,
Niger.
Naija.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Healthforniger.com.
Thank you so much, Dr. Orade. Don't go away. Still stay with us. Right. Let
Very
me just read
welcome.
out the lines. The phone lines are 0700 993 993 993. Again, 0700 993 993 993. Female only line is 01-465-7190. Now, very quickly, let me just hear. Now, you all probably didn't know that we had rights. Yes, we do have rights. There is a parastatal called the FCCPC. I know it's long, but they will tell us. I have Murayo here, who's a representative. She's already laughing at me because it's such a tongue twister. She's going to tell us about the Patient's Bill of Rights. Murayo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Go
you
ahead.
so much.
Tell us. You've got 2 minutes to educate us on our rights.
Okay, 2 minutes. I'll try to do that. First, I'd like to start by expressing my condolence to the Boomer family and to friends of the deceased. In terms of rights, I think Dr. Reda already started us on what are our rights by speaking very elaborately on the right to access of information. So basically, as a patient, you have a right to ask your doctors all the questions that she said. It's not just a question of, she's not advising you to, she's inviting you to exercise that right. It's a right, actually, to ask your doctors all the questions about your condition, about the treatment, and about their qualification. You need to be assured that your doctors are the people you are entrusting your life to, are qualified to treat you. So I know that in Nigeria, people are afraid to ask their doctors questions, but we need to exercise that right to ask questions. The second right that I would like to speak about is our right to, so also right to information includes the right to fees relating to your treatment, right to confidentiality of care, right to quality of care, and then a right to your dignity. And now the right to access emergency care, which is something that keeps coming up, in our clients. You hear of someone who had an accident and was taken to a hospital, and the hospital rejected that person. So with every right, what we need to know is that with every right, there's a corresponding obligation that the caregiver has, or the provider, or the hospital. Now, when I use caregiver, it incorporates all of these people. So with your right to access emergency care, they have a corresponding obligation to provide that emergency care. With the right to you refusing care, again, a patient has the right to be in total control of their body, and so they have a right to refuse care. And then the right to have a proper transition of care in the situation of interruption. So, for example, if you're being treated in hospital A, and hospital A decides that we need to move you to another facility because they are better equipped to manage your situation, how do they transit you from facility A to facility B should be in a way that will not be detrimental to your care.
Okay.
So, for example, we heard of a case recently where a young lady was receiving treatment in a hospital and she had to be transferred to another facility. And in the course of that transfer, she was on oxygen in the first hospital, and in the course of that transfer, she was sent away without oxygen.
I have to rush you. We've got calls coming in, and we have just 12, 13, 14 minutes left on the show. So, FCCPC, how do we get information? Give us your website, please, Morayo.
fccpc.gov.ng, that's our website. And FCCPC stands for Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. I know it's long. It's
there you go.
Twister, but just FCCPC.
Thank you so much. Don't go away. Let's take some questions. Right. We have calls. The lines are going crazy. Hello? 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 Rapid fire. If you can't speak, be ready to speak when I pick up your call. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon. Very quickly. You've got 20 seconds.
Chief Mrs. Ireti Bakare. Well done, ma.
Yes, thank you.
My question goes to the doctor. a woman with a large stomach, is that sign of fibroid?
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Yes, that's fine. Next question, next person, please.
Hello?
Yes, hello. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ifoma. I'm calling from Ilasa.
Elasa, go ahead. You've got 20 seconds. Rapid
So
fire. So many calls coming in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You were cut off by accident. Please call back, Ifoma. I'm so sorry. Next call, please. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, please. Yes, go ahead. Quickly.
Please
20
let me go
seconds.
straight to my question. Why
Please.
is it that when some people have this operation, fibroid operation, they don't take it again? That's my first one. Then second one, why is it that teenagers have this fibroid when they are just starting to menstruate?
Okay, thank you. Next question. Hello, next caller.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead. Go straight to your question, please.
Okay, please. The doctor said overweight is the cause of can cause fibroid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weighing 82 and I'm 26. Is it okay?
You'll have to speak to your GP about that. Right, next call, please. Next call, please. Hello? Right, okay. Dr. Benjamin, right, you got 3 minutes to answer that. I want to fit in as many calls as possible. Answer all those three. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Why don't they take in sometimes the additions in the fibroid? If fibroid is very, very big, I start again.
Yeah.
Okay. So large stomach can be fibroids.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If they have other symptoms like heavy bleeding and other stuff like pain during menses can be a fibroid. You have to do a pelvic scan to get it checked. Now, why don't they take in? Sometimes the fibroids are so big it has affected the endometrium of the woman, can cause them to have subfertility. Most times we advise them to do what we call IVF.
Mm-hmm.
IVF works for them.
Okay.
Then for teenagers, it's very rare.
Very
Very rare in teenagers, except there are other fundamental problems around the family.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, excellent. Let's go to the next call. Hello, go straight to your question, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Go straight to your question.
Yes, my question is, actually, I've gone for fibroid operation, but still now, the last time I went to check up, they are still telling me that they can find it, they are still in it. Is there any remedy for that?
There's still what? Sorry, pardon, say that again, please.
I've done the operation, the surgery for fibroid before.
How many years ago?
Which is 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I went for a checkup. That is June last year. It was still confirmed I'm having fibroid.
Okay. All right. We'll answer that. Next call, please. Hello. Go straight to your question, please. We don't. Okay.